From the shadows, in all the light, we thank the pilgrims on the road. Burn down the sorrows, shine by every light, looking for a savior.
There, how's that? 20 minutes. I wear this shirt way too much. Okay. 30 seconds. 3, 2, live. Say live and you walk away. Like great.
You on the shadows, in all the light, we're thank the pilgrims on the road. Burn down the sorrows, shine by every light, looking for a savior.
You want to walk step on this way? The lyrics. I should learn them. Anytime. I'm ready to fade out. We did the song in like 2 minutes. We're done. I know. Just kidding. And we're done. Save that for after the show. Because people want it for the fade out. Good evening, everybody. After a 2-week hiatus, here we are. The Jensen Lentz, exit 17 on the I-205s. What? Are you ready for me to say something important? I am this evening drinking a Ezra Brooks with Diet 7-Up and powdered ginger from Trader Joe's. It's amazing. I quite recommend it. Coca-Cola.
Are you on brand?
I am. Product placement.
So if anyone's new, go ahead and drop in the comments that you're new and never seen our show before.
Tell us where you're from.
Yes.
Tell us what you're drinking.
Yes. Tell what room in the house you're at too, because it's very exciting. As long as it's not the bathroom. So hi baby Ace.
Hi Ace.
Glad we should go to bed. Anyways.
We've been seeing you this last week.
Yay, it was fun. We watched a show was on. I didn't realize there's only one show and kept on playing 3 times in a row. It's like, oh yay, more Peppa Pig. Can't wait. This is super annoying. But it was funny to learn that it was a British show. That's why he talks British sometimes. Rather. Anyway.
That's all, Governor.
He's like, it's wonky donkey. I'm like, it was funny the first 500 times. Anyway, it's been a super boring week for us, you know.
As usual,
yeah.
Boring week.
Nothing happened of note. Except for everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything, Merlin? We 99% done with our projects, so that's good.
Yes, just have
a hoarder house.
No, it's less hoarder-ish today than it was yesterday. Just the trim to do in this room, and I think we're done there. And a little bit of painting.
And I have the wiring to do.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be putting in the shed. Shed's going live next week. It's all set to go right now. There's just big ball of wires everywhere. So it's got a little heater. It's got monitors in there for the kids. So that was awesome. So I must thank the internet powers that be that people were nice enough to give us I'd say TVs, I guess we call them.
Yeah, TVs.
Give us TVs. I call them monitors. And we end up getting 3 TVs for there, which is perfect. So we're going to be able to have a little workstation and gamer station, studio. What's the studio for?
Content Cabana.
Mm-hmm.
It is for this show right here. Also, it is for we're not calling it Cyber Santa. What
Virtual visits.
Virtual visits with Santa.
Virtual visits with Pro Santa Jeff.
That's me.
We have booked him for 30, 15-minute phone calls, and we have little questionnaires for the families to fill out, so it's personal instead of just randomly talking to people. So we have a little backstory, and it's nice to have a little backstory. That way, if you find out you shouldn't say certain things, or we're also excited that I advertised or posted on some of the LGBTQ plus groups, and they were happy to see that we were like LGBT friendly and neurodiverse friendly, and people said that meant a lot to them. So I thought that was pretty awesome because sometimes when you just go through the normal channels, I was looking at what do you call it? Not normal, but looking at the regular websites and stuff like that. It doesn't mention anything like that. Just super vague, and sometimes people don't feel comfortable like just going through the normal path. So we're just open-minded and cool. So I have a couple kids that are them and they, which I thought was super cool. So, and it's nice that we ask because a lot of people I'm sure don't in these situations.
And a kid from Scotland.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
He's like, "What's up, Governor?" Wait, no.
No.
I don't think you'd be saying that. That's your British anyway.
Yeah. I'll just be drinking scotch.
Santa's chilling. But no cigar. So we got the shed paneling, insulation up. Insulation and paneling. And then we're going to be mounting the TVs. And I'll be doing my workout there. Not workout. I'll be working from home remotely there. So I don't have to hear the kids. And then weekend night times, they'll be going in there and playing games until question mark time. Because I don't care as long as they're not grouchy the next day. Or we don't have to ask them for anything the next day. So they can take advantage of having a free space, because I'm always, if they get over a certain octave or call it decibel, I'm like, excuse me, other people live here. So, and that's like 4 or 5 times a day.
What do you mean?
Sorry. I'm like, you're not sorry. Just don't say you're sorry. Just you're wasting your breath.
Yeah, so you're never sorry. Just own it.
We are not accepting apologies. We're only accepting changed behaviors and another dad quotes. I'm always saying, what's wrong with this picture? I say this content looks messed up. Like that. Anyways.
Should we talk about our adventure today?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So
that was later, but okay.
Oh, that's right here.
Got it.
We went to this store today that is closing. St. Salvage. The store is this guy salvages neon signs from like every place but Oregon, apparently. And he sells them. We went there to get some like Oregon kitsch, like a letter from a sign or something from here. And I was really over it really quickly.
As soon as you found out nothing was from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was wanting to find something like, I saw some cool like Chinese character letters, and I was like, is this from like Hung Far Low or some old restaurant in town? He's like, no, it's all from the Southwest. And instantly we're just like, okay.
Yeah, and then it was like, and that one's sold already.
So there was JET like, in the window with the cool like the Chop Suey restaurant here in town, the same like font. And I was like, I want this J. And he goes, oh, well, I'm holding it for it comes as the package of 3 JET. And I was like, that's the only thing I wanted to buy when I was in the store. And I was like, no wonder why you're going out of business. I don't know. And I was going to tell my friends in my various Facebook groups about that. And he's just like, why bother? Because if he's not doing it.
Yeah. Because he's not doing it.
I already had it. When I was in there, I was already in my mind rearranging and figuring out how to market it and everything.
Yeah, you'd think if you're a store that sells letters that you would have them in organization.
Just thinking out loud here.
A, B, C, not like this hodgepodge. It was very overwhelming. And
we walked through like 3 different times, like looking at the same stuff. Like, I don't know what I'm seeing here. Just like big old chunk of scrap metal.
So
they should have a big sign that says like beer or like pizza, like have it spelled out something.
Yeah, food, liquor.
Pool. Could be billiards. Could be swimming. Yeah. So I set it up. Okay. So I decided I want to buy the J. He said couldn't buy the J, so I found a lowercase I. It looked like I for internet, like 90s font, like it could have been for iMachines or anything like that. Pre-iPod. And so I was like, so what sign should we spell? What letter should we get? What should we spell?
And I said STOP.
And he said, I said, what sign? He goes, how about STOP? It's like, okay, we're by the door. I'm like, okay, we're getting the heck out of here. So I was like, okay, that was pretty harsh. She's like, well, I didn't think it was harsh at all. I'm like, you're saying stop. That's like, I don't know. We were already almost done anyways, but he thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious once he like said it back to me, because I didn't.
It's like, that's cold-blooded right there.
And just the way he said it and the way I pictured myself saying it, I thought it was hilarious.
He was in hysterics for 3 minutes straight, and he was crying tears of laughter. And he thinks it's still pretty funny.
I do think it's funny. I'm sorry, honey.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I still want that letter, but then now it doesn't make sense because it'll always be the bane of our story.
It's a good story.
Yes. So, and then what did we do after that?
Then we went up to Artifact, walked through there really fast. And then we went to Coffee People, my first time going to Coffee People. And Josh had
Jim and Patty's Coffee People.
Yeah, Jim and Patty's Coffee People. And there's a story about them being from here, being bought out, and reopening. And what did you have?
I had a Velvet Hammer milkshake. It was amazing, expensive, and it took like 15 minutes to make. But one every 8 years is fine. So last time I had that ice cream was in Eugene. I don't think you were. It was PJ. It was Jeff. It was in Eugene at Prince Puckler Ice Cream. There was a line out the door. It's been around since before the other artisanal ice cream places. So now
I had the Marion Berry shake and a cookie.
And then I gave him a sip of the Velvet Hammer coffee shake, and he was not having it. He was like, he made his signature face, sour face, even though I'm sure it wasn't sour.
Well, it was quite the change from the Marion Berry. So anyway, good experience overall. Then we came home, finished watching the Oregon Ducks game, and I napped.
Who won?
The Ducks.
Yes. Ducks. I said the Ducks who won, but yes. I was asking a question. Whom have won? I don't know. But they show the stands and it has the cutouts of people like. So I want to see if I can buy my old seat back and put my picture there for the memories. So is it pop culture time?
It can be pop culture time.
It's something that we don't even want to talk about though.
Yeah, I don't even know this song.
I do.
30 years ago, this week, Love Takes Time by Mariah Carey was number 1. I don't even know how it goes. So
I'm not going to sing it, even though I know the words. I'm pretty sure it's a cover. Was this mid-grunge era or before or just... I don't know.
I think kind of like mid, maybe?
It was like hair metal, Mariah Carey, Madonna. So now let's talk about this Coke sign everyone's excited about.
Yes, the Coke sign.
So how'd you hang it?
With chains.
That's the back. That's the end of the story. Go ahead, start with the story.
The story is, and I'll answer your question, Mike. The Coke sign is new to our home in Oregon. It's something that I have had in storage the whole time I've lived here. I had it in my house in Indianapolis, in my basement bar. Oh, for several years.
Several years.
The story about the Coke sign and how I acquired it is it's originally from my hometown. It was on the parking lot next to Michelle's Academy of Beauty or something like that. Maybe it was Michael's. I don't remember.
Good story, bro.
And it was kind of on the way to my brother's house. And I was with my brother driving. He was driving, and we drove by it, and I was like, "Oh man, I'd love to have that sign." And like 3 months later, he like shows up at my house with the sign. So he, doing my brother's magic that he was able to acquire it for me. So he was a pretty cool brother. So I'm glad it's here. It's a really happy thing for me.
I was glad to see after being together for 9 years, but in Portland for almost 10, that he decided to finally move to Portland. So that was nice. I was like, hey, he's not moving back. He's staying for real. This is better than getting married. He's not leaving.
Yeah, my stuff's here now.
Some pretty cool like homespun artifacts that his dad made and everything, which is cool because all the stuff that I have were like heirlooms were stuff that my parents found at antique stores, so it doesn't have a backstory. So when it was time for the doling out of the goods, I'm just like, I don't need anything unless I want to decorate a spaghetti factory or something. It was like it's cool stuff, but not my jam. So
also, this is another thing from my brother. So
what is it though?
It is an original Coke
carry
case.
Carry case. That's a good name for a drag name.
I looked. I couldn't see it here.
It's from Illinois. Very cool.
So yeah, it makes me happy that it's here.
And so you'll notice the lovely turquoise cabinet. Did we tell a story about the cabinet?
I don't know.
Anyway, you're in for a treat. We went to Lowe's to buy a new cabinet. It was going to cost $2,000 and take 8 weeks. And I didn't like either of these factors. So yeah, we did talk about this. We went to Rebuilding Center, spent $60 on the cabinet underneath here, not the quartz. The quartz. Then I spent 5 evenings after work sanding, spackling, painting, clear coating. So now it's got so much paint on it, you can't close the doors.
You can close them, but you have to close them.
It's a process. So
wonky donkey.
Wonky donkey. So we only have 8 viewers because I created the Facebook Live event, and so people can only see the event if they saw the actual invite or whatever. So yeah, that's awesome. I try to use their protocol to do streaming and says create a live event, and now we don't have some of our people are going to feel left out. So I make sure I first invite people who feel like they always get forgotten. I invite them first. So what? You ready for your rant?
I don't know. I was just
So
kids update. We had a conference with 3 of Dominic's teachers on.
That was a shish show.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday
night.
Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were supposed to have a conference with all the teachers, but the schedule we had was different than the schedule they had. But the teachers we did have conference with have been really awesome to send us emails of he was in class but not participating today. So we get it hey, bud. Hey, Dominic. How about you participate?
His GPA changes every day, which I guess is normal, but it goes from all A's to F's and D's, and then the next day it's A again. It's crazy.
Yeah, we just have to stay on top of the situation and make sure he's engaging with his class and turning his assignments in. We're doing the parent job. The teachers are doing above and beyond to help this kid. He needs to be a little more grateful.
Good luck with that.
I know, right?
Grouchy tween over here, please.
Anyway, I feel fortunate there. Luther's doing great. But we both got an email from his teacher, and we both misread it.
I read it in a snarky tone in my head.
I feel a little bad about it because it said it was a pleasure having him in class. No, what was it?
It's nice that he shows up to class.
Yeah, it's nice he shows up to class.
And I read, it'd be nice if he showed up to class.
That's what I read too.
And then he said, he turned in all his work today. And I'm like, oh, he just turned in work for today. My mind went. And she's like, he turned everything in. And it's great that he shows up to class. I was like, oh, I went instantly to it'd be nice if he showed up to class. There's 2 words missing. It would be nice or whatever. It's nice that he shows up to class. So I was like, you need to show up to class. He's just looking at me I do show up to class. I'm in every class. I'm like, nope, it says here, it'd be nice. And he's like, the next day I was like, good morning. So sorry about our little micro meltdown last night. But you show up to class. He's like, I know. Back to sleep like he didn't care. It's so what? It was pretty awesome. So during the Skype calls with the teachers, it was totally. It was we're excited to see that we have a 40-minute or whatever block of time all synced up with teachers, but it was wrong. And then a couple of teachers saw us because it happened to other people were no shows or whatever. So we're still scheduled for Monday for all of them, I think. I don't know. But anyways, I couldn't figure out how to change my username on the Skype and so fast because I was having people over my shoulder and blah, blah. And so it was dog tag 808. So we got to log into his science teacher. And he's like, hello, who's this? Before the camera turned on, he's like, oh yeah, I have a lot of Zoom bombers or whatever he said. So people harass him and stuff like that. So he's like, I saw dog tag. I almost hung up on you.
Is
because he's kind of
Zoom bombing the new prank phone call?
I don't know. I'm sure Dominic will find a way or Luther will. So yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you guys aren't for right now. Call me tomorrow or whatever, schedule it. It was just funny. He's like, yeah, I get Zoom bombed. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, I saw the name Dog Tag. I thought that was suspicious. And I'm like, I'm suspicious.
Dominic did sit in a Zoom call for 8th graders going into 9th grade to get to know school options. And we thought he was going to go to Franklin, but he wants to go to Benson. So we're kind of excited about that.
He actually got excited about school.
Yeah.
Tell them what Benson is.
Benson is a polytechnical high school, and so they teach auto mechanics, nursing, computer programming, and some people can like graduate from high school and go straight into work. So they teach skills like that. So we're excited about that.
So yeah, it was like back in the day all about auto mechanics, but there's also computer programming and more high-tech sort of focused things, and it's pretty awesome. They said if there's like 12 people who want to create a major, they'll make one just for them, which is pretty awesome. It said something to that effect. So, and the guy was like super.
The principal.
He looked like a coach from like college football or something. He was super like, I hate the word congenial. I know that's a thing, but anyways, he was pretty amazing to listen to, because compared to all the other Zoom conversations, were just like, and he would look at the viewers' conversation and stuff like that. And so all my questions didn't get answered, because there was like probably one every 5 seconds. Every time I looked down, I was like, I just said this, you didn't see it. But it was good. It was good because Dominic's excited about going to a school where he can not just have to sit in a classroom and stare off into space. So,
right.
So it's time for your. Is there a rant?
Is there a rant?
What's the politics? We haven't talked about. You were here before the election.
We weren't?
That was the last one. We didn't know who the president was yet, did we? The 7th?
Oh, we didn't.
When was it?
Wait, we did.
Okay, we did.
Yeah, we did.
But then the shitstorm happened afterwards.
Well, he's still president.
Right.
Yeah, president-elect. So
I'm feeding you. Say something.
I
Monologue.
I don't really have too much of a rant.
Are you less stressed now?
I am less stressed. I had a really awesome nap today, so.
You had 2.
I did have 2 naps today.
So I'm over here scheduling his 40 appointments, and they're like, can we do Fridays also? I'm like, let me talk to Santa. Right now is not the time. He's got the dogs all around him, and Dexter will growl at me if I go disturb him. So he's like got his own little nap security. He's like growling.
Well, we were up really late last night working on the house.
Why are we up late?
Working on this room.
Yeah. It's a lot better. It still looks like a big train wreck or hammered, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And
it'll look great tomorrow.
Yes. And then next week we'll be in the shed with an awesome backdrop. We should do the Pro Santa Jeff backdrop kind of fun. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
It's kind of lame though.
Well, I mean, okay, is it? Oh, he says it's lame. As the talent says it's lame, I need to upgrade the background.
You're the one that convinced me.
It's like 3/4 the size you need. So if you're sitting in the picture, like you sit in the Santa chair we had last year, it was like the background was like, oh look, here's my weight set in the background. So I crop it out and like put a little vignette or whatever filter on it. So okay, he's like next. So I thought you were talking about the hair dye, hair gate, or just from Ingate. Okay, you have to have at least one gay friend to live in New York, I hope. And it was someone let somebody on TV with bad hair dye situation where it's sweating onto their face.
Yeah, you would think he would have a gay friend that would say, no.
Or someone had him a napkin, it was on TV, like, here you go.
And what surprisingly, I learned this week that it was like over 20% of the LGBTQ vote went to Trump. I was surprised at that.
Slugs for salt.
I guess, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I was surprised about that. So I guess that's
he's a renegade, you know. Give him a chance.
Well, we did give him a chance. Not much of one, but no.
I gave him a chance for 2 weeks, and every time he did something, I couldn't figure out like how could it be worse. And every day it was next, worse.
Well,
I was gonna write letters to senators about things. They would start a program, and the next day some other scandal would happen. Then he's like, "Oh, let's put Don't Ask, Don't Tell back, or let's kick all the gays out of the military, or try to." Well, I wasn't into that.
Oh, okay.
And now, as for like a year, like trans folks weren't allowed in. Like he made it like totally banned, I think, for a while, didn't he?
I don't remember. Honestly, I'm still got nap head, I think.
It was rage fatigue though for a while. So
yeah, but for people to say give him a chance, it's like no, don't have to.
I gave him 2 days, and I was like, nope. What?
I'm trying to say something.
Oh,
some people going into whatever that this is how they are, because Trump has always been in my lifetime since high school. He's been a familiar face in the tabloids and news and whatnot. So he's been a celebrity, so we've known who he is. And, we knew going in. Anyway, anywho. Hopefully this whole mess will be over completely soon. And he recognizes that he did lose. I don't know if he said anything yet. I've not been watching news the last 24 hours. So
we've been doing Project Reorg.
Yeah, I think it's been longer than that. I don't think I watched news at all on Friday.
You did.
Did I?
It was loud when you were in the shower.
Oh, I turned it on and then I got in the shower and that's all the news I got yesterday. Anywho.
So as a person who colors their hair, often not to put something temporary if you're going to sweat. So.
Why was he sweating?
And it looked like black wounds or something in his head.
I've had fun.
He thinks it was horns coming out, is what Jeff said. Actually, he didn't say that.
I didn't say that, but it could be. Finally, I mean,
he's not that interesting. Sorry, can't be a double.
Something's going on with the Republicans. Mitch McConnell's hand, the ooze from Giuliani. Something's going on. They've sold their soul or something.
We saw the Borat 2, right? We talked about that last time.
We did talk about that.
So it's all one big hair gate, tuck in gate, tuck gate. Everything's a gate. So on to page 2.
What are you watching? Binging.
Oh yeah, you're asking everybody.
What? Yeah.
Tell us what you're binging. We went to watch not the Crown, the
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit in the
Gambit.
And the Wi-Fi went down for a second, and it took him about 10 seconds. He fell right asleep. I was like, "So we're gonna watch this? I got it up." Never mind. So I started watching like Frasier or something like.
That was Thursday, right? Yeah, okay. Thursday's my long day at work, and it's very physical, and I'm often very tired.
We're supposed to watch the last episode of one of our shows on like Wednesday or something. I'm like, "Here, watch some Designing Women," and he was right asleep. I'm like, "We're supposed to watch the last episode of this series," and he was like, "What? Not right now." So we finished the show Younger, and I think it's one of the most awesome shows on TV if you like campy soap operas, if you like telenovelas like on Latin TV, on Hispanic TV, because it's like super melodrama, but this is more like a comedy version of it. It's still got the what do you call it? I want to say whodunit. The romantic version of whodunit, like it was Pretty Woman-ish, I guess. If you like Pretty Woman, you like this in a way.
Or as far as Working Girl.
Yeah. And there was one of the last 3 episodes. Third to the last episode was a Working Girl theme, and I was like, I love this show. So one of the, we'll say CEOs of the publishing company was dating this guy, and Long Island, something like that. So she was taking the ferry to go see him, and they had some conversation later on. He's like, all week long you've been humming the song from Working Girl, and I was like, whenever I could see her they show her on the ferry, she's like, you have to be a big Working Girl fan to think that's so awesome.
It's a good movie.
Is it a good movie?
Yeah, we watched it enough. Yeah, it's funny.
I cleared the month of June, and then after all, I'm ready for marriage.
So if you, we kind of recommend Younger. It's fun. Sutton Foster, Tony winning Sutton Foster is the star of it, and Hilary Duff, and it's got a good cast.
There's like a couple of cameos in there too.
There's always New
York cameos.
Yeah.
So the storyline is that she is 44 years old, trying to find a job in publishing, and she cannot find a job. So she says she's 24, and everyone's like huge scandal. I want to talk about it some more, but I don't want to give spoilers because it's pretty funny things that came out of it. But it's like they're going to be that dramatic over someone lying about their age as a female in publishing. Like they kind of of course, overhyped it and made it where it's a big deal.
Because nowadays you'd be like, okay, so.
But ageism is a thing.
Yeah.
Remember when I dyed my beard because of trying to get a different job?
And everyone's like, who's that? Oh, it's Jeff. I was like, it looked great until it started growing out. He said, I was going to color it like every 2 weeks, but it was itching him so much. So
yeah. Hair dye's bad. Okay. Just ask Rudy.
Giuliani.
American Housewife. Was that the?
I put it on that. It just went on often. It went on automatically after, and you like, dang it! I don't want to watch another show. I don't want to get any more shows. I was like hating it for the first like 20 minutes, 22 minutes long.
It kind of grew on you, but
it's got the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway on it. That's why I like it.
And the Drew Carey show, right? Wasn't he on that? Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of fun.
Was Kristen Chenoweth in Younger? We just saw.
Yeah, she was in one episode.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, Kristen Chenoweth.
I
think she's in.
One of the main dudes from Smash was in it. Lots of cameos.
In which show?
Oh, Younger.
Okay, I'm jumping around. So, The Connors is a pretty good show because it doesn't have Rosanna anymore because she's with that nuts crazy, as we all knew.
Sorry.
So, Katie Seagal has a Facebook page and she actually comments on like everyone's comment. Oh, like I love her, and I tried to realize that she's not Peg anymore. Like, I was like, I don't know how she feels about that character, but I got her where she's today, and so she's awesome. Because she was also in Shameless, which is I recommend highly.
She is a hard-working actress.
And she's totally believable. She's dry and she's funny.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. We've been proctored. So we're going to look at listener questions, everybody. So everyone likes the Coke sign. Mouse fell asleep. Hey, Benji, thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Benji. Yes, Melissa, we are in a new space.
She says the new space. This is not the. Oh. This is not the new space. Not to correct you, but it is. This is the last time we're gonna do it. In the basement, probably. Because we're gonna start doing it up in the content cabana. I don't know if I'm still. Are we loving that? Are we still loving that?
Mm-hmm.
Content cabana.
Yeah.
Hey Hugo, thanks for tuning in. Drinking Coke in the office, says Ted. That sounds so grown up. Autumn says hi to baby Ace. It happens with kids that watch Peppa Pig. They start speaking British. At first, I thought I was like, wow, it's an anomaly. He speaks British all of a sudden, like he was somebody else in another life. And Melissa's like, he watches Peppa Pig. So,
thank you, Benji. I told Josh right before we started. I'm like, I wear this shirt way too much. I love this shirt though. It's super comfortable.
Pay no attention to the radon abatement system. Fun fact: our house had like the smallest reading of radon. And they said it's not required to have a radon abatement system. And I said, watch this be a living room or a bedroom someday. So we had it installed. So shout out to the radon abatement people. Oh, it's new space because it's not in the old tiny basement.
Right.
That's true. So there was a wall here.
Right here.
There was a wall right here.
Right here where I'm at.
And there was this funky cute little dive bar good enough for like a first date for 2 people only because it was so tiny, intimate, and the dangers of all the sharp edges. So we had to put round table in there because that was like, how do you call it? The fast getaway from hurting somebody. Hey Vernon, thanks for tuning in. Snark. I think we need to have like a Gelman in the background, like reading us comments as we go. I guess we'll have a 55-inch screen up in the corner to like tell us what's going on. Hey Barry, thanks for tuning in.
Mid grunge era, yeah.
So it went from imagine seeing a chart with Soundgarden and Mariah Carey in the top 10. It's like what? The sign makes it real. It's true. The sign was. I had a moment when he hung it up because he's been talking about it since we met. Like my brother got me the sign. I don't know how he got it. He could have like gave him like some sort of magic beans or something. There's always some like folklore.
No, he's part of the Michael's House of Beauty or whatever. Part of the sign was falling off, and he was like, "Hey, I can take that down for you. It's a hazard." And so then he gave them $100 for it. So he paid to take down signs so I could have one of them.
So yeah, Melissa, the sign is pretty dope. I was looking on eBay and they have ones that are like, they have a couple that are still brand new in the wrapper. And I was like, oh, we could get that. And I'm like, that's not the point. The point is, it's got the story. It's Americana 101. So downstairs we have the awesome time capsule.
Yeah.
And we haven't quite figured out the decorations yet, but
not all the way.
We have all the stuff possible. So.
We're getting there.
We could call it the schooner room and have it a nautical theme with lots of knots to make it not nautical. No, okay. We're not.
No.
The Zoom bombers have been around for a long time. No, Melissa, I'm not talking about zoo bombers. I'm talking about Zoom bombers, like prank phone calls, not people coming down off of by the zoo and like. So there's a thing for folks who don't know, people who live in Portland. There's a small subset of the culture who will have like little girl bikes or whatever kind of bikes that are meant for like a 4-year-old, and there's full-grown people who go down this very large hill by the zoo, and they call them the zoo bombers, and people get hurt and they wear helmets and they hit guardrails, stuff like that. You know about this?
Yeah, okay. I totally forgot about it.
Because she's like, zoo bombers has been a thing. And yeah, it does sound like zoo bombers.
I totally forgot, but it sounds painful.
Hey, David Olson, I'm glad you're still here.
Yay.
I'm glad I'll be recovering perfectly. Thanks for all the swag, too. It's been very helpful in our transition.
Exactly, Autumn. Some things, like Trump, you don't have to give a chance. Like heroin. It's bad news.
Everyone says Queen's got it. The new pizza place on Foster is called Humdingers, and they have one in Alaska. It is a family-style pizza place that also looks like it's a cross. To me, it looks like a hybrid between family and foodie kind of stuff. So the menu looks awesome. I can't wait to try it once it's open. It's about 6 blocks from us, so
something like that. Yeah,
Luther can get a job there someday. Dominic first, but I think Luther will get a job before Dominic does. Just saying, because he's like not motivated.
But Luther is motivated.
So Benji, this shirt is from right next door, right outside of the Space Needle. Step back a little bit. And it comes with a hat.
Yeah.
But he gave me the hat because I wanted a hat, and I never wear hats because I have to show off my signature.
It was a really sunny day, and
I was getting burnt.
And so I'm like, I want a shirt. He needs a hat.
$26 with a Seattle Rubber Band bracelet.
I don't think it was 26. I think it was like 15.
Yeah. And so I have the hat, and it was also nice to see our friend who gave us a tour. We talked about that in the first couple episodes.
We did.
He's awesome. So let's see. Say what it is now.
Snark was what you should have spelled out with the letters.
S-T-O-P. Or he's like, what's the sign say? Dead end. You might as well said that. He said all creepy, and I was like, wow. Sure.
Well, I didn't want to say it loud to where he could hear me. The owner.
He thought it's just funny when you can make yourself laugh for 15. Okay, it was 15 minutes nonstop. in victim years. He's still laughing. I just look at him.
Oh shit.
And just like I look away and I look back and start laughing all over again. It was like the cycle you couldn't break.
Oh,
awesome.
I needed it. That's why after that cookie and milkshake,
and then he bought me
a nap.
And he bought me an $8 milkshake after that with probably like 2,000 calories in it. So
yeah, I was just bragging. I lost 4 pounds. Well, I gained more than that back just from that milkshake and cookie.
But we worked until 3. Most times we close our rings out by 5 a.m. because we're too busy working. Go ahead, Steve. Ted says, I think they're different stores. We're talking about Humdingers, a pizza shop. Because he's from Alaska.
The one here has a different website, Humdinger, without the S. I like how they seem to be using the neighboring space for more seating. Agree.
So I guess I saw a member a while ago that was a California-based or like a Santa Barbara area-based thing. Maybe Ottawa knew. But the last website I saw was for Alaska, so I need to check into that again. But the space is amazing. I guess they also have a liquor license, so it'll be. Imagine a restaurant that sells cocktails and real food. We love the Eagle Eye. God bless them. They have great cocktails, but all they have is a deep fryer. They don't even make burgers, do they?
They don't.
Can they deep fry a burger?
I mean, you'd think they'd get a panini press because you can do lots of sandwiches on.
I had a panini press when we first started dating.
I didn't like it.
He hated it because it had all it has the ridges. Like, it's cute, little searing. He's like, throw that shit away. Okay. But now we have one with multiple plates, and we have a waffle iron.
Yeah.
And life is perfect.
Thank you, Benji. I was kind of thinking it needed to be a little trimmed up before.
Talking about the beard.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about my beard. I was thinking it needs to be a little trimmed. I've got this side. Wow.
We're going to be taking care of it this week to get it ready for photo ready.
That's from napping.
He's photo ready on we're going live on Saturday next week for the Pro Santa. We have 15 booked, 8 back to back, and then he gets a break for 30 minutes and then back to work. So I'm putting him to work.
Ooh, they're going to have an arcade. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Humdingers will have an arcade. I wonder if people like humdinger is like an old timey word, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should have whippersnappers next to it.
Boulder Dash down the street.
Dash. I bid you good day. Have them on the sign. Huber's restaurant.
Ooh, no.
Oh, that's sad. So the oldest restaurant in Portland, Huber's, who's famous for their flaming Spanish coffees, where I've never actually been there.
I've not been there either.
We've always talked about it. Oh, it's Wednesday. And we could go there. Like when we had random days off, we never actually went. So they throw like, I think it's like when I was a kid, you get the creamer packets and lighter. They do that in the restaurant for a presentation. So did they close yet or are they about to?
Might be closing.
Oh, might be closing. Okay.
We'll have to find out.
Maybe they do that to spike sales. So like there was a Trader Vic's here in town and I never went. Well, I went like a long time ago and then they moved to a different neighborhood. And I was like, oh, I wish I would have went. And someone's like, you had 17 years to try it out. And I'm like, well, okay. Like, and they got rid of a bunch of stuff. I think our friend Brian got some of it, perhaps.
I think so.
He's part of the TikiCon. So many places aren't going to survive. That's true. I was saying I hope our second favorite restaurant, Dots, stays open. We haven't been back there since went there like once since the pandemic.
Twice. We've been twice.
We dine in ever? I don't think so.
No.
We have a little sneeze guard to get in.
Did we dine in there once?
I think like the second week of it all.
Maybe. It was like us on one side and another couple
in the
last
on the other side of the restaurant. 8 months, we've dined out maybe 10 times in certain safe spaces. And my favorite was Bar Maven had hand sanitizer on every table. And I was like, why does it take a pandemic to have hand sanitizer for everybody? It should be like this all the time. It would save on their water bill. And y'all nasty if you don't wash your hands before you eat your greasy French fries. So that's good.
You just shamed people.
Did I?
Y'all nasty.
Y'all nasty. It's not finger looking good unless you make sure there's nothing underneath your fingernails. And I saw the sign. They went to KFC a couple nights ago. Last night, was it?
No, it was Thursday.
It said finger looking good. I'm like, well, that's COVID fingers, so y'all do it.
What's your first favorite restaurant?
It was Montage. Whenever I had visitors come into town, I took them to Montage. What about you? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love Montage. I love Dots. Juniors.
Which is also made by the Dots folks.
Yeah.
Macy's at Lloyd Center is closing permanently in January. So I have this theory where Amazon's going to take over the old malls and turn it into distribution centers and have drones. And then people are going to be in such a hurry to want things again, they'll have to go to the mall to get things. And so it's like a full circle where it's like all of a sudden now they're going to the mall to get their tech instead of, I don't know. That makes sense?
It makes sense.
So, but the drones are going to solve all the problems.
No, they're not. More crap for us to dodge and
think about the birds. Oh, speaking of birds, what about where was it that had the owl in the tree? It was like the controversy with some city that had a Christmas tree got delivered and had an owl in it that didn't eat or drink for 3 days.
Wasn't it at the White House?
No, that was some city.
Oh, was it Rockefeller?
Maybe.
Plaza?
So did Melania kill Jackie O's garden? I don't know the whole story. I don't pay attention to all that.
Why are you talking about that? Apparently she dug up the rose garden, and planted them somewhere else.
This is the first time since the Kennedys.
Yeah, but they were roses from all of the first wives.
Oh, gotcha.
Since like the 1900s or something.
So that
was it?
I'm sure it'll be restored,
Wilson?
and there'll be a first dog. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Bidens have a dog.
It's rescue. Ain't that just like a rescue? Trying to get that catchphrase to catch on. It's not working. But remember the we call it the YouTube of the phone call of Melania about how she hates.
Oh yeah.
That was last year.
No, I think it was last year.
So yeah.
Her best friend recorded it, and she's like, basically saying like, "Fucking Christmas and fucking kids in cages and who fucking cares."
And I was like, "This can't be real." He's like, "It's real." And he watched it like 3 times.
I did watch it.
It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. It's like volume like 11. Like,
well,
oh my god, listen to this! I'm like, I can hear it from the other side of the house. It's like he's like over here.
The hypocrisy of it all with Trump saying, "No, you can all say Merry Christmas," yeah, and his wife saying, "Fucking Merry Christmas." You know, it's like you could always say Merry Christmas. I'm just tired of this.
Even Mr. Atheist is all about Merry Christmas.
I love Christmas. Anybody who knows me knows I love Christmas. Anybody driving by knows that we like Christmas.
He likes to put baby Jesus in a cage. So the nation will miss her warmth and sincerity. I think Melania is the queen bee of RBF, which is resting something face. So yeah, you see that one meme where they took the picture of the girl with the buck teeth going like, they put Melania's face on it. It's like, when you have to decorate for Christmas and your job's over in 20 days after that or something like that. Like, when you have to decorate for Christmas, it's not your job anymore. It's like, she's like. So, yeah.
Okay.
Great story, bro. Oh, we're at 44 minutes, so.
I know.
We hit our 30. We're good.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's answer all the questions. Yes. So, I guess we still have to figure out how to make it so everyone can see the show and not just follow the event. So, I guess we'll have to. They probably want a green screen next time. We could have it with like space.
No.
I want to do the Santa background. You said no.
Oh, I didn't say no.
So that'd be cheesy.
That's whatever I said. We can do it. We'll do the Santa background next week.
Even though it's 3/4 the size it needs to be, you can see all the frame around it. Anyway, great story, bro. So thanks for tuning in and shout outs. I think I did. Mixed it in there.
I think so.
David getting well, and then the other David getting well. So David Olson, David Beard, who had recovered from their medical situations, and also Wes Tibbetts.
Brian.
Oh, thank him for an awesome sewing machine.
Yeah.
So it's almost the same as the one I had. We took a sewing class, and I didn't know how classes worked because it's been so long for any tactile class, and I guess you have to we're making aprons, and so I had to follow along with the class. I did not know that. They said, go upstairs and iron it out by yourself. I'm ironing it. And I came down and I was like 3 stories behind the part of the process. And so that kind of backfired. And then the sewing machine we had was amazing until I slammed the brakes and it fell off the seat and broke itself. So.
Yeah. And that's where I fell behind in sewing class.
So now we have the new one.
And we don't have an apron.
And now I have 1/4 of the apron that still is finished, but it's gonna be dope. It's like all 8-bit and like tie-dye. It's pretty cool. So,
all right.
Thanks, Dan Alejandro, for tuning in. Have a good night. So, follow us on Facebook, Gents and Lents, and also on YouTube, Gents and Lents. And tell your friends to watch the show.
And tell your friends to that have kids.
It's gonna fade out.
Tell your friends that have kids to contact Pro Santa Jeff.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Remember, wash your hands, wear your mask.
Thanks for tuning in.
Here among the shadows, in a lonely land, we're band of pilgrims on the moon. Burn down the sorrow, shine your every hand.
And
wait for it. What's my note?
End it.
City,